Welcome to the JTV News Caribbean News Report. Antigua and Barbuda's Prime Minister Gaston Brown returned home from holidays to find his home broken into despite round-the-clock security. Public Safety Minister and Attorney General Stedroy Benjamin, speaking on Observer Radio, said no stone would be left unturned as the authorities probed the break-in at the Prime Minister's private residence at Hodges Bay. The Public Safety Minister said he cannot understand how the robbery took place at the property when there are police and members of the Defense Force providing security on a 24-hour basis. Benjamin said these are people trained to protect. Whenever that person is discovered, the full force of the law will be brought against that individual. Benjamin gave no details as to whether anything had been stolen from the Prime Minister's house. The United States Coast Guard says more than 500 people made their escape on emergency slides from the Caribbean Fantasy cruise ship off the Puerto Rican coast after a blaze erupted in the ship's engine room. On Wednesday, August 17, the Coast Guard responded to a fire aboard the Caribbean Fantasy about 2 nautical miles north of San Juan Harbor. The Panamanian-flagged passenger cargo ship with 512 passengers and crew was en route to the Dominican Republic. Officials are investigating the incident and will determine what would happen to the ship, which has been grounded. The ship runs several times weekly between Puerto Rico and the Dominican Republic. A public health emergency has been declared in Puerto Rico. The U.S. island territory recorded 10,690 Zika cases, including those of 1,035 pregnant women, but officials said the actual number of people infected is likely higher. 8 out of 10 people with Zika infection experience no symptoms and don't seek testing. The emergency was declared 1 day after the U.S. Surgeon General visited Puerto Rico and said he expected that 1/4 of the territory's nearly 3.5 million people would be infected with Zika by year end. The health emergency declaration allows the U.S. Health and Human Services Department to award grants, access emergency funds, and temporarily appoint personnel where needed, among other things. Usain Bolt has come a long way from the playful child who learned to run in the parish of Trelawney, Jamaica, and would cry when he lost a race. The teenager heeded the advice of PE teacher Lorna Thorpe, who told Bolt that he had a gold mine in his legs. More in this report from BBC.
She is the woman behind the fastest man alive. Meet Lorna Thorpe, the PE teacher that set Usain Bolt on track to Olympic gold medals and a 100-metre world record time of 9.58 seconds. And it all began here, William Knibb School in Falmouth, Jamaica. I actually can't believe this is where Usain Bolt used to train. It's not so much an athletics track, but just dust. And in terms of William Knibb as a school, the confidence and discipline they're instilling in these children is just absolutely phenomenal. Lorna taught Usain at the time he was deciding whether to give up cricket and football in favour of athletics. She's still there today, inspiring a new generation of track hopefuls.
She provides for us economically, financially and emotionally, and make sure that anything for her needs, we got it. We just love her, we just admire her, we just adore her. She's like a role model to us.
How does that make you feel as a person?
Well, very good, but it's part of my job, so I have to just work for them. That's what I get paid for, to work with them.
You're so modest, you're so modest. You guys are making such a massive difference here. Because, I mean, what would they be doing otherwise? They'd be out in the street or they'd be doing something
else
they shouldn't be doing, you know?
Exactly.
And you say it's a job, but I think it's a little more than that from what I see here.
It's a passion.
It is, it really is.
It's a passion, right?
And
You ask Usain, they'll tell you that. If you ask Michael Green, way back, it's just a passion. I have to be there for them.
Her star former pupil hasn't forgotten where it all began. Bolt's paid for a new canteen for the school and he's given the athletics team new kit.
Let's be real, you're right.
When I caught up with the man himself, it was obvious Lorna Thorpe is still very much in his thoughts.
For me, she's like a second mom. While I was in high school, she looked out for me fully. Anything I wanted, she made sure I was always in class. She was always like on me in school, make sure everything's okay. Always focused and ready. So she played a very big part for me.
For school kids in Jamaica, the stakes are high. Once a year, the top athletes compete here at the Boys and Girls Champs. It's not like any school sports day that I ever went to. For many here, sport is the one chance they have to avoid being pulled into a life of poverty or crime. Bolt first burst onto the scene here, and he's not looked back since. His presence is obviously an inspiration to today's generation. The fact he's made it to where he is today is what keeps these kids pushing ever harder to cross that finish line.
And Belize Tourist Board scored marketing gold with a tweet that invited US 2016 Olympic individual all-round gymnastic champion Simone Biles and her teammates to the Central American nation. US-born Biles holds Belizean citizenship from her adopted mother, Nellie Biles, who was born in the CARICOM nation. After Biles' spectacular wins on Thursday, August 11th, the Belize Tourist Board tweeted, "Congrats at Simone Biles. Belize is so proud of you. We'd love to host you and the entire Final Five on a vacation once you're ready to relax." To which Biles responded, "My second home. You better Belize we're coming." The other four members of Team USA that Belize is also hoping to host include Gabby Douglas, Ali Raisman, Madison Koshin, and Laurie Hernandez. And coming up next on JTV News. The TRC awards spectrum to all three telecom companies in the BVI to provide 4G LTE service. Horse racing exhibit at Sugarworks showcases the history of horse racing in the BVI.
It is essential that we share the various aspects of our history and culture in creative ways.
And Youth for Walwyn continues their donations of back-to-school vouchers for families in need.